Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. When it comes to us in this material world, it's very natural to be miserable. And that's what gopis are saying in Gopi Geet in 10th canto. Tava kathamratam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinanti Bhuridajana. So Gopi is understanding our situation. They are saying, Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam. O Lord, for all the Tapta Jivas in this material world, all the miserable souls in this material world, what is that solace that they have? The solace, what they have is your Katha. Tava Katha. And how is your Katha? Amritam. Nectarian. Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam. Therefore, the hope that we have in this miserable world with all the miseries around is Krishna Katha. All these miseries will be there. But a devotee will not feel that if he advances in Krishna consciousness. So many examples are there like that. Now, to advance in Krishna consciousness is very important. And to advance in Krishna consciousness, the first thing that is needed is absorption in doing sadhana. Like, for example, now we are sitting and hearing, and my duty is to speak. So I have to speak with absorption, and your duty is to hear with absorption. And just by doing sadhana with absorption, a devotee will advance very, very quickly in sadhana bhakti. I'm remembering Kulashekar Alvar, one of the 12 Alvars of Sri Sampradaya. So these Alvars were nothing but various paraphernalia of the Lord manifested as a person. So Kulashekar Alvar was a king, King Kulashekar. So in his kingdom, when he would sit and hear, it would be with great absorption. And he would love Ramayana. Sri Vaishnavas, they love Ramayana. And they discuss a lot about Ramayana. And we Gaudiyas, we discuss what? We discuss Bhagavatam. Yes, Bhagavatam is our main scripture. In fact, it went on to such an extent. All the Sampradayas say you have to get an authentication. Yes, bona fide. So you need to have your commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra is Bhagavatam. But still, other Sampradayas, they have their commentaries. Sri Bhashya and other Bhashya. Sri Bhashya of Sri Sampradaya. So our Acharyas, they never felt a need of writing a commentary on Vedanta Sutra because they were convinced that Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary. That is what is our final scripture. But still, when there was a huge chaos that took place, that who are these Gaudiyas? Are they really bona fide? Because they don't have a commentary. And our Acharyas, they are debating with them. No, Bhagavatam is our natural commentary. Arey, Bhagavatam to sabka hai. Aapka commentary kahan hai? At that time, Baldev Vidyabhushan, he writes a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And that's how Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya became authentic in terms of all the Vaishnava Sampradaya. So for us, Bhagavatam is the main scripture. And devotees, they just go around Bhagavatam all the time. Any Goswami literature we pick up, be it Bhaktivinoda Thakur's works or be it Jiva Goswami's works, they will quote Bhagavatam from start to end. Throughout their writing, they'll quote Bhagavatam. Their praman is from Bhagavatam. So for us, Bhagavatam is very, very important. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada, he gave this very, very wonderful opportunity to all of us. Every day, Bhagavatam class. Every day. So this Kulashekar, King Kulashekar, he was very absorbed while hearing. And different saints would come, Sri Vaishnavas who would come to his kingdom, to his palace, and they would recite Ramayana. And Kulashekar would just sit and he would be just hearing Ramayana. I should say he would be drinking Ramayana through his ears. Now, whatever the different sages who would come and speak, the different sadhus who would come and speak, they would just recite. But King Kulashekar, he would be so absorbed, his expressions would change. We have example in Bhagavatam also. So Shukadeva Goswami is describing the discussion between Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj. एकदम intense discussion चल रहा है. Because when Krishna appeared, at that time there was a lot of opulence in Vrindavan. So at that time, Nanda Maharaj very intelligently thought, better I go and give tax before itself. If they come and see this, they'll find out that Krishna has appeared here. So better I go and give the tax. So he himself went. 5th day or 6th day, he went to give the tax. And it is described that after giving the tax to Kamsa, he was standing outside Mathura in a garden, and Vasudeva comes to meet. And both of these personalities are fathers of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj. Now Nanda Maharaj does not know what Vasudeva has done in the middle of the night. But Vasudeva knows that he has done. He has transferred the child from Mathura jail to Vrindavan. To Vrindavan, to Gokul Mahavan. And Vasudeva does not want to reveal this to him. He wants to keep it a secret. So now Vasudeva wants to know, how is my child doing? But now he cannot ask directly, how is my Krishna doing? Because indirectly he is asking questions. Shukadeva Goswami is describing all this amazingly in 10th canto. So Vasudeva is asking, so how are Praja in your kingdom? How are all the citizens in your kingdom? Praja. So Praja means citizens. Praja also means one's own offspring, one's own child. And Vasudeva's logic, our acharyas, with a magnifying glass, they are getting into the mood of Vasudeva. That how is he asking this question? Why is he asking this question? So logic is that if the Praja is good, it means everything else around will be good. And if everything else around is good, naturally my son will be good. He'll be taken care very nicely. And so he's asking like that. And Nanda Maharaj is giving answer, yeah, they're doing well, etc., etc. And again, he wants to ask a specific question. But Vasudeva is not able to ask a specific question. Again, he asks an indirect question saying, how is my son Balram doing? Because Balram was Rohini's son. So Rohini is wife of Vasudeva. So how is my son Balram doing? Again, the logic is if Balram is good, his elder brother, younger brother will be good. So the entire discussion is going on. And also a question comes, why Vasudeva came alone? He could have got Devaki also. And there the acharyas are commenting that if Devaki would have also come, after all she is a mother. How can a mother do this all indirect things? Oh, he was a king, Vasudeva, he could use diplomacy and try to get the answers. But mother, with that motherly heart, she'll directly ask, how is my son Krishna? And Bhanda phut jayega. Therefore, he was very careful that no, Devaki ko nahi lana hai. So now when this discussion is going on, two fathers are speaking. And who is hearing this discussion? Apart from you all? Parikshit Maharaj. So Shukadeva Goswami is speaking and Parikshit Maharaj is hearing. And Parikshit Maharaj is fully absorbed. But Vasudeva tells something by which Parikshit Maharaj's expression changed. Vasudeva told Nanda Maharaj, go fast to your place. Because a lot of calamities that are going to come. And at that time, when this was heard, and Shukadeva Goswami went on to describe that Putana, she flew all the way to Vrindavan. Parikshit Maharaj became very tensed. Expression changed. अपना एक्सपीरियंस ज़्यादा चेंज नहीं होता ना ऐसे देखता है. आप बोलिए bro, बोलिए. You speak. But see, when it comes to these personalities so absorbed, his expressions are changing. And now this expression was the expression of fear. Srila Prabhupada says anyone who hears from 1st canto to 9th canto, they will fully realize that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, all powerful. So now we ordinary people, when we read Bhagavatam, we are supposed to get that realization. अभी बताइए जब परीक्षित महाराज 7 days, 7 nights without having any prasad, any water, any sleep, he is hearing, tell me, he will not realize a word. Only 3.5 days are remaining now when this katha started. And after hearing for 4.5 days or 3.5 days at the start, he was already self-realized that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is all-powerful. Nothing can happen to him. But he was so absorbed in hearing the discussion between Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev, as narrated by Shukadeva Goswami, that he also got that parental mood of affection for Krishna. And in that parental affection, he was fearful, what will happen to my child, Krishna? You see, absorption. In this way, when Kulashekar was hearing, even his expressions were changing when various different things was narrated. And finally, the instance where Khara and Dushan, they come with how many personalities, how many soldiers? 14,000. 14,000 soldiers. And at that time, Lord Ram is telling Lakshman, take care of Sita. And Ram is alone. And the entire army is marching towards Lord Ram. And who is hearing all this? Kulashekar Alvar is hearing all this. And he is so absorbed in the entire katha. He got up suddenly and he said, Ram is alone, get the army, we will go to that place. Now, all the ministers were wondering what happened to him. But actually he was very serious. He ordered all the ministers, get all the soldiers, we will go now. And all the ministers are trying to make him understand it's a katha, it has already happened. He's like, no, Lord Ram is alone, we have to go to help him. He didn't hear what happened after that. He just got up in that mood of ecstasy. He got up and the entire army is proceeding towards Panchavati. For what? To support Lord Ram in killing the 14,000 soldiers who were already killed in Treta Yuga. Now, and the entire army was marching. So now these ministers said, what's the point? We are here in south. We're supposed to go till there, to that particular place. It will take so much of time. And after going there, we'll realize that nothing was there, no danger was there. So they used a very nice logic. Very, very intelligently they managed the situation. They told two soldiers, you take horses and go in front as fast as possible. And then take a U-turn and come back. And when you're coming back, at that time, you chant the glory of Lord Ram, that Lord Ram became victorious. Lord Ram became victorious. All 14,000 soldiers were killed. So like that, the two soldiers went and they came back and said, oh, Lord Ram is victorious. Lord Ram is victorious. And Kulashekar, who is marching with full, ekdam fiery mood, he wanted to kill all the soldiers. As soon as he heard that, he became very peaceful, very happy. And he said, oh, good, Lord Ram has become victorious. Let's go back to the kingdom. My God, this is absorption. Anyways, we cannot imitate all this. Yes. Can you imagine? We are hearing some katha like this and everyone gets up. Let's go and help. This is absorption. But when we are not absorbed in doing sadhana, tell me what happens? When we are not absorbed in doing sadhana, okay, waste of time. Okay. Huh? We don't get taste. Huh? Aprad. We commit offenses. Yeah. Yes, sleeping on the lap of Maya. So see, the point is, whenever we are not doing sadhana with absorption, the thing that will manifest is called as aparad or offenses. And it's so very critical for devotees. Because devotees, after endeavoring so much, they come on the path of bhakti. And after coming onto the path of bhakti, because of offenses, they are not able to advance in spiritual life. I was reading this one section of Bhakti Sandarbha by Jiva Goswami. There he mentions there are 5 effects of offenses. Very, very dangerous. And this we can see in our own lives. We'll be able to relate to these 5. So because of the offenses that we're committing or committed, all these offenses will lead to these 5 effects. And these 5 effects will lead to more offenses. And the vicious cycle continues. And therefore, Srila Jiva Goswami, he mentioned Bhakti Sandarbha. The first effect of the offenses is Kautilyam or crookedness. So, what is Kautilyam all about? What is crookedness all about? It means externally showing respect, but internally very, very disrespectful towards the Lord, towards one's own spiritual master, towards the devotees. And the example that is given by Jiva Goswami is that of Duryodhan. So when it comes to Duryodhan, he didn't have a great respect for Lord Krishna or Pandavas. So when Krishna came as peace messenger, Duryodhan wanted to buy Krishna, purchase Krishna. How? By giving him all opulences. He arranged all the opulences and everything. But Krishna didn't accept anything from Duryodhan. Why? Krishna as Paramatma in the heart of everyone, he knew very well. Externally he is showing me respect, but internally he is not respectful either towards me or towards my devotees. It was very clear. Krishna didn't accept. This is crookedness of Duryodhan. And also we have various examples where disciples have committed offenses against their own spiritual master. I was hearing this from one devotee of one of the spiritual masters in ISKCON. So disciples sometimes in their arrogant behavior, when spiritual master is instructing, not able to take. So one such disciple, he took the beads given by spiritual master and threw it on the spiritual master. I don't want your beads. And he left in angry mood. I was just thinking, this is such a pathetic situation. बेचारे पहले तो पाप लेते हैं दीक्षा के टाइम, फिर बीड्स भी देते हैं, क्यों? मुंह पे मारने के लिए. Can you imagine this? So pathetic. In fact, in the initial days of ISKCON also, the devotees were new and they had hardly any exposure of Krishna consciousness. I'm talking about the Western devotees. So Satswarup Maharaj writes this in Prabhupada Lilamrit. It was a Rath Yatra. And at that time, those devotees who had got sannyas, some few of them, it seems they didn't allow Prabhupada to sit on the Rath. Because Prabhupada would always sit on the Rath. There would be nice singhasan and Prabhupada would sit on the Rath. And that's how the Rath Yatra would happen. But Prabhupada came and Satswarup Maharaj writes that Prabhupada was asked to sit in the car and car went ahead. And these few disciples who were there, they were on the Rath. You see. Even in current time also I heard that spiritual master is supposed to go and give pravachan in some place. And the disciple, with his crooked mind, is maneuvering various things and he cancels his Guru Maharaj's katha and he goes and gives katha there. So all these different things, this is crookedness. And what else? Another way of very subtle crookedness is we pay obeisance to Srila Prabhupada, we do Guru Puja, externally we show a lot of respect, but internally we are not following the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, not having complete faith in the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. Every now and then a wave comes in ISKCON, where some people will start this propaganda saying, no, Prabhupada's teachings was for that time, not now. Or actually, he just was giving Bengali culture, it's not Vaishnava culture, etc., etc., etc. So many times this has happened. I think in future also it will happen. So externally we might be very respectful, but internally when we don't have the respect, so this is called as crookedness. Even in our devotee community, say we don't like someone, externally, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, and internally, फिर से आ गया sound. Again. Now see, this is a very important thing to note. Finally, as devotees, we are supposed to live in devotee community. We don't have any option. बाकी लोग ने तो हमें निकाल ही दिया उनके association से. In fact, outsiders are more fearful. If I stay with them, then I also have to give up intoxication, meat eating, onion, garlic, or whatever. Better you remain away. Relatives also keep us away. Everyone keeps us away. So we have our family here, this devotee community. Now in the devotee community, when we don't have that straightforwardness, that simplicity of offering respect externally and internally also, tell me how will we sustain in devotee community? With time, we nikal jayenge. Aur kya? I was just contemplating on this one point, one fact, that how important are devotees in our life. In fact, this devotee world itself is a rare species in the age of Kali. Rare. Just imagine, just take the example of our area itself. Now, it's very rampant to break the four regulative principles: meat eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex. If you're not doing this, you're alien. I'm sure all the devotees who go to office, they'll have this experience. You're treated as alien. तू एक भी पेग नहीं मारता, एक भी नहीं. You don't eat meat, man. सिर्फ घास फूस. So much people say all this. Now, just imagine, someone has taken a call that yes, I want to give up these four. Someone has taken a call that I will chant Krishna's holy names. 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Newcomers feel very proud. I do one round. Sometimes people are like 50 mantras. But just imagine when devotees spend some time and when they take a vow and they start chanting 16 rounds every day, how special they are in this world. And guess what? We are staying with such people. Therefore, I call it as rare species. Now, these are all chosen souls who are there amongst us. And if we are not able to value their presence, for sure, Krishna will be displeased. And just time is separating us from that time or that prophecy where we will be separated from devotees. No doubt about that. Therefore, one thing for the community building, the important aspect for community building is devotees respecting each other both externally and internally. Now said, only external respect is there only when the devotee comes in front, and the internal one is not there. So this is seen that as soon as there's close community, close friend circle in devotees, immediately that gossip will begin. And that gossip surfaces under the devotee community, and with time, earthquake. And all the entire devotee community cracks. This is seen in so many places. And then the spiritual leaders of that community, they have to break their head, get that person, this person, then talk to both of them and spend a lot of time doing this. Therefore, it's very, very important that all of us always think about this one point, that we are in devotee community, and in the devotee community, what is needed is that unity. And in the age of Kali Yuga, unity is impossible. Kalaha means to quarrel. And in the age of Kali, naturally people will quarrel. So now, devotees, when we are asking people to stay united in the age of Kali, it's actually impossible. But when devotees have that desire, and with the mercy of Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, it is possible to stay together. And that is what is security for a devotee in devotee community. Shukadeva Goswami, he says, please repeat. Tam sukharadhyam rijubhir ananya sharanair nibhi kritagyaha kona seveta duraradhyam asadubhi. So here Shukadeva Goswami is saying that all those people who are simple-hearted, they will receive the mercy of the Lord. And the ones, duraradhyam asadubhi, the ones who are crooked, they are the ones who will never receive the mercy of the Lord. So whatever offenses we have committed, and say this crooked behavior is there within us, so this will take place, will not be able to receive the mercy of the Lord. Can you imagine the pathetic situation that we fall in because of the offenses that we have committed before? This is the first effect. And it is also described that those people are ignorant. They have no knowledge from Shastra. So they are the ones, even if they commit some offense or whatever, still they'll receive the mercy of the Lord and they'll be able to attain perfection. But those devotees who have knowledge from Shastra, but still wantingly committing some offenses, doing some activities like this, the crooked behavior, they are the ones who can never receive mercy of the Lord. They cannot advance. This is the first thing that is mentioned. Because of offenses, the first effect is our heart becomes crooked. Externally showing something, internally something else. Second one that Jiva Goswami mentions as the effect of offenses is ashraddha or faithlessness. Now, after hearing so much about the glories of devotional service from Shastra, about name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord, the basic siddhanta of Krishna consciousness, still not having faith on that subject matter is actually the sign of aparadha that is committed in the past. Now, this is a very important thing to note, that even after hearing, reading, still that faith, that conviction has not come. And that's the sign of aparadha that is committed in the past. Jiva Goswami is saying. And the example that is given again is Duryodhana. Same instance, when Lord Krishna came as peace messenger and Duryodhana, he ordered, time up. And at that time, Krishna manifested his universal form, Vishwarup. And at that time, Duryodhana is laughing. Mayavi. He's not saying, oh, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sarva Karana Karanam, Govindamadi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajami, nothing doing. Mayavi. He's just like this. Now, for us, we are hearing. वो बंदा तो देख रहा था सामने. He was experiencing. But because of his offenses onto the lotus feet of Pandavas, there was no question of investing faith in what he's seeing. Very difficult. He was not able to do that. In Shastra, all of us we hear. In Bhagavatam we hear. Taror mola isechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashakaha pranopharande atendriyanam sarvarhanam achyutejya tathaiva sarvarhanam achyutejya. Here it is said, Taror eva moola nisechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashakaha. You water the root of the tree, the entire tree flourishes. You put the food in the stomach, through the mouth, the entire body gets nourished. So who is that personality who is called as root? Lord Krishna is called as the root. Tathaiva sarvarhanam achyutejya. So just by worshipping Achyuta, Krishna, everyone else is satisfied. All the Devi Devatas are satisfied. Now we hear so much, especially in ISKCON, this point is so emphatically presented. Right from Gita course, after few sessions, this session comes. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But it is seen that even after spending good amount of time in Krishna consciousness, sometimes even initiated devotees for that matter, just having Krishna in the altar becomes very difficult. They start thinking, see, my Kula Devi, my Kula Devata, my, this particular personality, that particular personality. If I remove them from the altar, then they'll get angry on me, no? Then what will happen? It happened in one of our devotees' place. So they did the altar installation having only our Gandharvika Giridhari, Panchtattva, Narasimhadeva and Guru Parampara. So their kid, while playing, he fell and then he got fracture on the hand. And their parents started saying, you know why this has happened? Because of that. Because of that activity that you people have done, the abominable activity of removing all the devatas and having only Krishna in the altar. Now, fortunately, they were confident. There is nothing like that. We are confident of worshipping the Lord. But still, there are others who are there in the community of devotees all around the world who still have that thing in the heart. Nahi, mushkil ho jayega. If I worship only Krishna, sometimes devotees give their logic. In Shastra, we see Krishna does not come immediately to help. अगर बाकी लोग को भी निकाल दिया और कृष्णा भी नहीं आए तो क्या होगा मेरा? What will happen? Better I have some backup, some security. Then where is the question of surrender then? Where is the question of surrender? Therefore, this is also a very nice thing that when devotees are thinking, even after hearing repeatedly that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead and just worshipping Him will satisfy all the Devi Devatas. If this faith has not come, then here it is very nicely given that it is because of the offenses that we have committed. Therefore, that faith, that conviction is not coming in the process. So this is one. After hearing a lot of glories of the Lord, still not having faith. Another way the faith is destroyed or faithlessness arises in the heart is when we see devotees, contemporary devotees, they're going through some tough situation in their life. Say someone has got some critical disease, some health issue, say cancer or something like that. In the devotee community, their talk begins that itna acha bhakt hai wo. It is so wonderful devotee. Why is he going through all this? What is the problem? Why Krishna is not helping this devotee? You see how just by seeing something around like this, that faithlessness gets creeped in. Maybe the same thing will happen with me also. Devotional Jiva Swami says that this faithlessness shouldn't arise by seeing contemporary devotees going through some critical situation in life. I was very new in Krishna consciousness. I think 2012 it was. 2011 I began, 2012. So I was sitting in a class, and at that time there was one news that in Vrindavan, one Mataji was stabbed. So I was sitting in the class, and after the class I went to one senior devotee, one senior brahmachari was giving class. So I went to him and asked, Prabhuji, that devotee, that Mataji who went through all this, so उन्होंने क्या कर्मा किया रहेगा past life में? क्यों हुआ उनके साथ ये? He looked at me in such a great anger, I cannot tell you. ऐसे देखे मुझे, what's your problem? She and Krishna, who are you in between? That is their reciprocation that is taking place. Who the hell you are in between? Answer तो मिला नहीं, मतलब ऐसे झाड़े मुझे उस दिन वो. And that's a fact. If some devotee is going through some critical situation, why we need to go and analyze कौन सा कर्मा है, क्या हुआ? It is said Krishna takes all the karma, but now karma, we can see that she's still suffering. Will I also get into that situation? Etc., etc., etc. This is all mind trick. And faithlessness will emerge with time. Therefore, it's very important to note that when such faithlessness arises in our heart, immediately, we should understand it because of the offenses which we have committed. Now, for n number of reasons, Krishna had put his devotees into some situation. N number of reasons. Okay, tell me some of the reasons why Krishna put some devotee in some critical situation. Or to test a devotee. To test a devotee. When we go and tell the Lord, oh Lord, I don't want anything except you. Acha beta. Okay, let's have some test to check really if that is the case. Okay, to test. And what is that? Okay, purification for the devotee. So much of contamination, so he gets purified through that tough phase of life. Okay, nice.
It's a good thing that you're getting pain because in this Janma itself, everything is cleared and rastas are.
Yes. So everything gets finished, all the contamination removed in this Janma only, so you can go back home. Sometimes the outside people, it's very difficult for them to understand that what are these devotees all about. I don't know where, I don't know if I've shared here, one of our devotees who went through some accident in our Panathur congregation. And that Mataji was lying on the bed, blood here and there. I went immediately to see. This is, I think, 2 years back or 3 years back. And when I went to meet her, she is smiling. And she's like, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, welcome. ऐसे पढ़ी है ऐसे. She is smiling. I was very sympathetic looking at the situation. All the hair are disabled and blood is there. And still they had not operated her. And they were supposed to take her to some other hospital. And she was smiling. And then I asked, Mataji, it might be very painful, isn't it? And she's like, no, Prabhuji, Krishna is very merciful. Actually, I should have died, but Krishna has still kept me alive. And there I was getting goosebumps. Hey, मेरी student है क्या? मैं लगता तो नहीं है. Some divine personality. But when outsiders see how devotees doing all this, पागल हो गए ये लोग. They're mad. Going through such tough situation and still saying, no, it's mercy of the Lord. Actually, this worst thing should have happened in my life, but Krishna is just giving me a token. So wonderful, so wonderful. Therefore, devotees take in a very positive way. Very nice. Anything else? Setting example for others. That even when a person is going through this tough situation, देखिए, भक्ति रोका क्या उसने? नहीं. This is what even you should do when you go through a tough situation. That's what Krishna does. In fact, Prabhupada writes in a purport that when a mother-in-law wants to teach something to the daughter-in-law, she'll not tell directly. Maybe Matajis can understand that. हम लोग को मुश्किल है. Yes. So when the mother-in-law wants to teach something to the daughter-in-law, she will scold her own daughter, and through that she will teach the daughter-in-law how she is supposed to behave. And Prabhupada is like amazing. He has all the knowledge of this world. Who experiences what? And therefore, she is scolding whom? Her own daughter. That's very easy. Now the one who has come from outside, just now into the family, it's very difficult not to scold them. He's scolding her, and through that she is showing that this is how you should behave. And similarly, Lord, He chooses pure devotees. बेचारों को पीटते हैं हमारे सामने, and then बाकी लोग को समझाते, this is how you should behave. See, did he stop chanting? नहीं. देखो और एक मारता हूँ. Did he stop chanting? No. See. So even when I beat you, even you shouldn't stop chanting. You shouldn't leave devotional service. So in this way, Krishna has his own plans. So therefore, we as devotees, if Siddhanta is not clear, then all these things will manifest. That is, faithlessness will manifest. And whenever this faithlessness manifests, we should understand one thing. This is because of the past offenses that I've committed. This Jiva Goswami's verdict. Therefore, in this way, two things we have seen, two effects of offenses. The first one is Kautilya or crookedness. Second is Ashraddha or faithlessness. Third thing that is mentioned by Jiva Goswami is Bhagwan Nishtha Chavakas Antarabhiniveshaha, means absorption in some sense gratificatory objects, which erodes our faith, or in simple terms, distraction. So whenever a devotee is distracted from the path of devotional service, it is described, it is nothing but the effect of the offenses committed in the past. Very nice analysis. I really loved this section. So Jiva Goswami is quoting the section where Bharat Maharaj, he gets distracted because of a deer. He gets distracted because of the deer. So Shukdev Goswami is analyzing and he is telling us what's happening. So he writes in 5.8.26 Bhagavad, he says, in this way his heart was agitated by desires which were impossible to be satisfied. Because of his prarabdha karma, which came to him in the form of a deer cub, this ascetic yogi fell down from his practice of yoga and also from the worship of the Lord. This is what happened with Bharat Maharaj. He got attached to the deer and he fell down from his position. So now Jiva Goswami is just taking this one word, prarabdha karma, and he's analyzing. And he's saying that prarabdha karma, which is material, how can that put obstacle to something spiritual, that to topmost, that is bhakti? So prarabdha karma cannot affect bhakti. Therefore Jiva Goswami gives conclusion, he says, so here prarabdha karma means some offense that was committed. So the outcome of that offense is seen in this form of getting distracted. So I always had this question that how a person on the bhava stage getting affected by prarabdha karma. But so wonderfully Jiva Goswami is describing, it is not some ordinary prarabdha karma, material. It is an offense that was committed and that is manifesting as distraction now. That is distracting the person from the path of bhakti. So you see, the offenses which are committed in the past, those lead to distraction from the path of devotional service. So dangerous. When we read all this, it is so, it gives goosebumps. All the offenses that we have committed or actively committing can actually distract us from the path of devotional service. Another example that is given is that of Indradyumna Maharaj. So Indradyumna Maharaj was sitting and he was doing meditation. He was into his deep meditation. Agastya Muni comes there. And Agastya Muni, when he comes there, Indradyumna Maharaj is not receiving Agastya Muni. And at that time, Agastya Rishi, he becomes really offended. And he curses Indradyumna Maharaj. You're behaving like an animal, better you become an animal. And he was cursed to become an elephant. And he is that same elephant whom we talk about, and his name is Gajendra. So Jiva Goswami gives this wonderful analysis. He says that when he came in the body of elephant, why was it that he was not able to continue practicing bhakti? Why did he get involved in so much of sense gratification with his entire family members? And there he says, because of the offense that he had committed in the past to a great rishi, Agastya. So here is a very wonderful example that is given to us, that the past offenses will manifest in the form of distraction on the path of devotional service. We'll get distracted from the path of devotional service. Very, very sincere devotees also are seen to do this. Very unfortunate. I heard this from some devotees in the community. That's a very sincere devotee, but the devotee has this misconception saying that, see, bhakti is important, But along with that, we should also socialize in the community, wherever we are staying. So we should go to parties, we should go for this program, that program. केवल भक्ति नहीं करते रहना है. Sincere devotee, coming for programs, doing service and all that, but having this thing in the mind. Isn't that a big distraction? Now just imagine when this continues, there's so many times this has taken place where the devotee slowly and steadily goes out, उसको भी नहीं समझ आएगा कि बाहर जा रहा है. And finally out. Finally out. Sometimes it also happens that sincere devotees, because of pleasing, say their relatives or their colleagues in the office or whatever, they're ready to compromise on the standard of devotional service. Now, how come this takes place? How come they're ready? Sincere devotees, I'm not talking, so this entire discussion is not for neophytes, for newcomers who are chanting 1 round or 2 rounds. This for those 16 rounders who have been chanting 16 rounds for a good amount of time, a good number of years. Now tell me, someone who is doing bhakti very intensely, very nicely, sincerely, consistently, ये गंदा थॉट आता कहाँ से कि let's compromise on this subject matter, it's okay. At least वो लोग खुश रहेंगे ना, it's okay. We can resume it later, it's okay. Where is this coming from? And this distracting mentality, Jiva Goswami says, comes because of past offenses. Because devotee is sincere, and such behavior is not expected from such a devotee, but still when he is getting deviated or trying to do something which is not favorable to bhakti, like for example, not having prasad. A devotee is not able to take prasad. Now, just to please someone. Now, this is very much difficult to digest. How can a sincere devotee do this? Yeah? When he has an option of taking prasad, but still not taking prasad. Obviously, devotees will not get into meat eating, intoxication and all that. And there's no question of doing some other things. Illicit sex is something that sometimes even sincere devotees get swayed by. But this question comes, how come this distracting aspect comes in the life of a devotee? Jiva Goswami says, there's nothing but effect of one's past offenses. So grave, can you imagine? And all glories to Jiva Goswami. That how so technically they're putting point by point. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami. And Prabhupada takes all that and he presents all that in his purport in a very, very wonderful technical manner. Therefore we say, no, that if these acharyas wouldn't have been there, Prabhupada wouldn't have been there, हम लोगों को तो समझ ही नहीं आता. We will be just asking, पता नहीं मेरे साथ क्या हो रहा है, मन नहीं लग रहा है भक्ति में, this and that, what should I do? And our acharya is saying, don't do anything, read our books, we have given solution also. So 3 effects we have seen till now. The first one is Kautilya or crookedness. Second, Ashraddha or faithlessness. Third, distraction. Sanskrit wala bole nahi aap. Thoda lamba hai. Bhagwan nishtha chavakas tva antarabhiniveshah. Antarabhinivesha is very simple to understand. No, absorption. Absorption in various sense gratificatory objects. He mentions the 4th one now. Bhakti shaitilyam. Bhakti shaitilyam means slackness in devotion. Bhakti shaitilyam. Again, we are discussing about sincere sadhakas. We are not discussing about newcomers. Now, sincere sadhakas, sometimes, based on the situations that they go through, the priorities change. Now, Krishna, who is there in the top priority in the Bhagavatam class, suddenly when we are put in some situation, that priority changes and something else takes over Krishna. Like for example, when we go through some health crisis in life, the first thing that gets hampered is our chanting. I don't know about you all, at least for me it takes place. First thing that's get hampered is our chanting, reading, hearing or whatever. खाना पीना रुकता नहीं उस टाइम पे, वो सब नहीं रुकेगा. But what will stop is this immediately, and we'll keep postponing. I think later we will do or whatever. Health crisis, some monetary issue that comes nowadays, that layoff and this and that has started. And whatever it is now, say a person laid off from the job, the effect that is seen is on bhakti immediately. Suddenly that enthusiasm in bhakti goes down. Slackness, he gets slackened in bhakti. Some problems in the family, some issues that has creeped in because of whatever reasons, some fights which are happening. Sometimes it's very difficult to digest also. Devotees here in Bangalore, and in the native some fight is going on, and the devotees' bhakti is getting affected here. I'm sure all of us might have experienced this. All the time absorbed, completely absorbed in the leelas happening in the native place. You see? So therefore, here it is said that priority is Krishna. The top priority in the devotee's life. Again, sincere sadhaka's life is Krishna. But in some situations, Krishna gets replaced by something else. And that is what causes slackness in devotional service. And therefore, here it is said that devotees know that they should practice bhakti intensely in any situation. But still, even after knowing, when they go slackened in devotional service, and you know what? When we are slackened in devotional service, still we know that we shouldn't get slackened in devotional service. Yes or no? When we are going through that low phase, we know very well, nahi, aisa nahi karna hai mujhe. Aisa nahi karna hai. But still the devotee is slackened, usi mood mein hai. So Jiva Goswami says, even after understanding that if he is slackened in bhakti, this is the effect of offenses. You know, see the technicality in which Jiva Goswami is presenting this wonderful thing. Therefore, one thing that we need to note, as soon as the priority is changing, immediately alarm should ring. Kuch to galat ho raha hai. Kuch to galat ho raha hai. Naturally, I have been keeping Krishna as my first priority. And this very life, now I want to attain Krishna's eternal service. And if the priority is changing, it means there is some alarming situation that has come into picture. Immediately, the devotee should understand this particular thing. Therefore, we will see that fixed up devotees, they will not slacken in devotional service. The ones who are practicing bhakti offenselessly, kam what mein unka chalte rehta hai. They will never slacken in devotional service. Whatever happens in their life, they will never slacken in devotional service. Take for example, various devotees in ISKCON itself. They go through so much of trouble, so many health crises or whatever, but you will not find them slackened in devotional service. Therefore, it's very important that in general, we devotees should have such devotees in our closed association. When we have their association, when we are going down, at least by looking at them, we'll understand, okay, effect of offense has started in my life, I should do something for it. I'm going down in my spiritual life, I should do something for it. Therefore, it's very, very important to note that when we slacken in devotional service, and we know that we are slackened in devotional service, we should immediately understand this is the effect of the offenses that we have committed. Very, very, very important. So we have discussed about crookedness, kautilya. Next, ashraddha, faithlessness. Third, distraction. Fourth, bhakti shaitilya or slackness in devotional service. And fifth one is this, swabhaktyadikrita manitvam. This is pride arising from one's own practice of devotional service. बेचारे भक्त लोग हम लोग कहाँ फंस जाते हैं. So we are doing devotional service and we are proud of that. That is this particular thing. Swabhaktyadikrita manitvam. Now this is, we are rendering devotional service in our day-to-day life. And when we are doing devotional service in our day-to-day life, so because of the service that we have rendered, we become proud, saying, I did it. I have done this particular thing. And this is a very critical thing to note. As soon as a devotee becomes proud, tell me what is the immediate thing that the devotee will do? Okay, how fall down? Offense. What offense? Vaishnava aparadha. That's the first thing that will take place. I am so great. Hey, chutku mutku lo mere samne. What these people can do. Look at me. I am so talented. I am this. I am that. I did this service. I did that service. Ye log bas aate khake jate. What is this? Look at me. I come before Sunday feast starts and I go very late after the Sunday feast. I do this service, that service. I go out on the streets to do book distribution. Immediately, when we become proud of our services, uska immediate effect is Vaishnava aparadha because we belittle other devotees in the community. And here is a nice example that is given by Jiva Goswami. He says that Daksha, so when Daksha gave birth to his 10,000 sons, at that time Narada Muni went and he gave a brahmachari class to them. नारद मुनि का मस्त है एकदम. His youth preaching is next level. He doesn't go out for pass distribution, this and that, nothing. He just went to a place where 10,000 kids of children of Daksha were there. He went and he spoke about renunciation. And all 10,000 renounced and they left. And the message comes to home that the 10,000 sons of yours, O Daksha, have joined Brahmacharya Ashram. Now, when one son joins Brahmacharya Ashram, parents go mad. You imagine 10,000 sons joining. So Daksha still, he curbed his internal agony, anger or whatever. And then he gave birth to another 1,000 sons. And Narada Muni comes there. And Narada Muni says, you know what your elder brothers did? They went like that. What will you do? And this time preaching was very easy. So 1,000 kids, they said, we'll follow our elder brothers. All of them, they went behind. And this time, Daksha really got very angry. And he cursed Narada Muni. Now, cursing a pure devotee is nothing but offense. Obviously, that curse was nice. The curse was, since you are there at one place for a long time, you are able to do this mischievous activity of taking innocent people who have no experience of this material world and material enjoyment and making them renunciants prematurely. I curse you that you will not be able to stay at one place for a long time. And Prabhupada says that in the same purport. He says that looks like even I have been cursed by the parents of my devotees or disciples. Therefore, I cannot stay in one place for more than 3 days. Prabhupada writes this. So now, analysis begins. How is it that Daksha, Prajapati, he cursed, or he offended Narada Muni? And they trace back to the offense that he committed to another great devotee in the past. And the devotee's name was Lord Shiva. So Daksha, this was previous life of Daksha. So Daksha entered the assembly and everyone got up to receive Daksha. Now he is very proud. And then he saw that Brahma is sitting. Now Brahma is father, so he cannot say anything. Papa bete, no problem. But then he saw Lord Shiva sitting. Lord Shiva, when he was sitting, he didn't get up. Daksha went mad. He went really mad. He didn't say anything at that time. When he sat on his own throne, his own place, at that time he started speaking. At that time he started saying, look at this fellow. Look at his eyes. Like monkey. My daughter, she has beautiful eyes like that of deer. Because of this Brahma, I gave my daughter to him. I had no mode of giving. And then he went on to blaspheme Lord Shiva like anything. I mean, Lord Shiva, he didn't feel anything, he just left the place. But Daksha, he got the reaction of that offense. He got basically the offense. He offended a great devotee, Vaishnavanam Yathashambhu. Now this offense manifested as an effect of being proud and offending another devotee. And that is Narada Muni. You see how these offenses work. When we are new, we talk only about karma. I did punya, so this happened. I did papa, so this happens. Arey wo sab chodo, wo sab ho gaya abhi. Once we start chanting 16 rounds, when we aspire to take shelter of a spiritual master, or already taken shelter of spiritual master, Krishna has taken full control of our life now. So ordinary material nature will not give us karma. This is what is the verdict of Shastra. Now Krishna, looking into our life, where we have to improve, Krishna will now release karma the way he wants. Sometimes he'll reduce. He doesn't magnify, don't worry. Yes. So he gives the karma and sometimes he reduces also. So the point is this, very, very important to note, that when it comes to us as devotees, now this papa punya of past doesn't matter, or shouldn't matter ideally. Now what should matter is the offenses that we have committed and the offensive mentality that we have got currently in our day-to-day life. Therefore, we understand that when we are practicing bhakti, the thing that should happen is, I should naturally become humble. That is what is the outcome of bhakti. Because humility is the quality of bhakti. It's a spiritual quality. So now just imagine we are practicing bhakti and instead of becoming humble, we are becoming proud. So now the question comes, are we really practicing bhakti or not? That's the question that comes into picture here. So therefore, when we are becoming proud instead of becoming humble, immediately we need to understand this one thing. Click on turant. Effect of offenses. Very, very important. And due to the effect of offense, how is that the devotee is getting proud? This forgetfulness of various siddhanta that is given in Shastra. So we all know very well, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tar Pravartan. Without Krishna's mercy, we cannot do anything in Krishna consciousness. We cannot do anything. But still we have the audacity to say that I am that person who made so many devotees. Now Radha and Krishna in the altar, they will laugh. Ye banaya devotee. Look at his audacity. He made devotee. Or a devotee getting a lot of pride, saying, oh, I give wonderful classes. I do wonderful kirtan. I am the best mentor ever. See, all the people under me, they are progressing so nicely. Arey bhai, tu apna bhakti dekh. Apna hi damadole pura. We are not able to move ahead exponentially in Krishna consciousness. And we are thinking, because of me, someone is progressing in bhakti. So this leads to pride. Now, it's very important to note that we should have this analysis if we want to safeguard ourselves. We should have this analysis, okay, if I call myself as a very great speaker or a good mentor or whatever. So if Krishna gives me forgetfulness at that point, when I'm speaking, how will I speak? All the devotees who give Bhagavatam class, they will surely agree with me. All the Bhakti Vriksha leaders will also agree. That when we are speaking, we will not know where from the points are coming in our mind and we start speaking. We just go on speaking continuously. Now just imagine if Krishna presses a stop button to the thoughts which are coming. He gives forgetfulness to us. Abhi hum class de rahe and then you're blank, you don't know. Or notes mein likha nahi hai. Because you're very confident that anyways thoughts on previous whatever sadhana I have done, it will come. And now you're blank. And you ask the audience, oh, kya point bol raha tha? What was that? Can someone add a point next to this after this? Sometimes devotees were sharing that new Bhakti Vriksha leaders, they were sharing that, Prabhuji, when people ask question, we have got a very wonderful way to answer. I said, how do you do that? You can share so that I can share with other Bhakti Vriksha leaders. They said, so you see, Prabhuji, when someone asks us a question, then we open it for others saying, does anyone want to answer? And surely, people start telling some points and then by Lord's mercy, we'll remember something and then we'll be able to answer. We buy time like this, they were saying. But on a serious note, this is very important to note. If Krishna does not give us memory, remembrance, where is the question of doing any service in Krishna consciousness? Where is the question of talent? Nothing, it's all Krishna Shakti, nothing else, nothing else. Another thing, when we are in the association, we are respected. Now just think about this one point. If ISKCON was not there, if we are not part of ISKCON, say ISKCON is there and we are not part of ISKCON, Bataiye, who will give us respect? Who will give us respect? When newcomers come and when we give them so much of respect and we honor them, they look behind, really you calling me or you calling someone else? Because outside no one gives us so much of respect. Just think about this one point. Since we are part of devotee community, under the huge shelter that Prabhupada has created called ISKCON, we have some, some respect in the association of devotees. And because of that respect, if we become proud, then we are foolish. Fool number one. Therefore, it's very important to note, pride, because of practicing bhakti, is another sign of the offenses that we have committed in the past. Guru Kripa Maharaj, at that time Guru Kripa Prabhu, he was a very big, donation collection person. He was the one who would go around collect a lot of donation for Vrindavan temple. So he was doing that. And he was feeling that, yes, I'm doing it. So Prabhupada one night, he was translating his books. He told his servant, call Guru Kripa. It was 1 o'clock at night. And he was called. The servant went, he called Guru Kripa Prabhu. And Guru Kripa Prabhu saw the time, it's 1 o'clock at night and Prabhupada is calling me. And he asked Prabhupada, what happened? And Prabhupada asking, what were you doing? And Guru Kripa Prabhu said that, I was sleeping, Prabhupada. Why are you sleeping? Prabhupada, it's night. It's night for me also. I am not sleeping. Why you are sleeping? Prabhupada, I was very tired. I am also tired. I am not sleeping. Why you are sleeping? Prabhupada, you are a Paramhamsa. I am a fallen soul. Why are you fallen soul? And then finally, Guru Kripa Prabhu, with a lot of humility, asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, please tell me what am I supposed to do? And Prabhupada said, go and sleep. Spiritual masters know very well, how to beat their own disciples to bring their pride down. On a serious note, whenever we are proud of anything, especially in devotional realm, we should understand that this is the effect of offenses. So these are the 5 effects of offenses that Jiva Goswami gives to all of us. These are in fact the parameters, for all of us to analyze our own self. See, with time, as we advance in bhakti, there will not be many people around us to tell where we are going wrong. It's more self-introspection that we're supposed to do. And these are the parameters of self-introspection. What are those? First, Kautilya or crookedness. Second, Ashraddha or faithlessness. Third, Bhagwan Nishta Chavakas Tva Antarabhinivesha. That is distraction. Fourth, Bhakti Shaitilyam. That is slackness in devotional service. And fifth one, yes, Swabhaktyadikrita Manitvam or pride arising from devotional service. See, when I was reading this, one thing which was very clear was it's a vicious cycle. So we have committed offenses, and because of that, all these things are manifesting. And since these 5 effects are manifesting, we'll commit more offenses. So, again 5 effects. And again offenses. Abhi khatam kabhi hoga? When is this going to end? What are we supposed to do to end this particular thing? Therefore, these classes are meant where we come together and discuss. And we understand this very, very important thing, that I am in a very pathetic situation. I'm stuck in this cycle. Sometimes what happens is, it's very difficult for us to understand that I'm in a pathetic situation. जब सामने से कोई बोलता है, या जब हम पढ़ते हैं, so at that time we realize, oh, actually I'm in a helpless situation. अभी ये बोले कि offense करने की वजह से ये 5 होते हैं. Now because of these 5, I'm committing offenses. Again it will manifest. So when is this going to end? When will I attain Krishna? Indradyumna committed offense in his past. He became Gajendra. And then he still committed various other things. He was absorbed in sense gratification. Bharat Maharaj committed some offense and he got distracted. Like, oh, I am an ordinary devotee. What's going to happen to me? So when this realization comes of our current helpless situation, pathetic situation, then we go in front of the Lord and offer prayers. Bacha lijiye. Now no one can save me. You please save me. Therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, all these acharyas, they know our situation very well. They know very well what pathetic situation we are in. And they also know that we don't know that we are in pathetic situation. And by their mercy, we get to know that we are in pathetic situation. And when we are in that situation, what to pray, they tell that also. This is the glory of our acharyas. If we just understand the contribution of all these acharyas, and especially Srila Prabhupada, we will be sold out to them. We will be completely sold out to them. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, Gopinath Haraje mani chiyami Aneka jatana hoilo bifala Ekhana bharasa tumi. A sincere devotee, understanding all the situation that he is in a helpless condition, he is praying to the Lord. Haraje mani chiyami, oh Lord, I accept the defeat. अब नहीं हो पाएगा मेरे से और हारे जमाने छियामी अनेक जतन होइलो विफल. I have done so many different things, O Lord, but everything has gone in vain. No, nothing is working. Nothing is working. I'm still in the same pathetic situation. And then the devotee says, Ekhana bharasa tumi. You are the only one who can save me now. Please help me. Therefore it is said, the feeling of helplessness will actually help us to offer prayers intensely. If the feeling of helplessness is not there, then there is no question of offering prayers intensely. Therefore, when we come together like this in Bhagavatam class, so when we analyze our own situation, at that time, naturally, at least in the Bhagavatam class, we feel, yes, I am in the helpless situation. Now, after the Bhagavatam class, when we hold the plate with puri and halwa and all that, I don't know what will be our situation. But at least now we feel. So immediately we should offer a prayer to the Lord. Oh Lord, please help me. I don't know. How will I come out of this vicious cycle? I cannot come out of this vicious cycle. Please help me. Therefore, offering prayers, intense prayers is very important. Second thing which I would like to mention is being in the association of devotees and following Vaishnava etiquette is very, very important. Because Vaishnava etiquette actually helps us to stop offenses. Everyone was paying obeisance and one devotee was not paying obeisance to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada asked, why are you not paying obeisances? And he said, I don't feel like. Just imagine these Westerners at that time. Koi tension nahi. Acharya is there in front, I don't feel like. And Prabhupada said, start offering obeisances, you'll start feeling it also. So currently our situation is we don't feel anything as such in bhakti. Now, to some extent we might be tasting something, but to a great extent, a lot of things might be still on a superficial platform. So what are we supposed to do? Acharya say follow Vaishnava etiquette. नहीं अच्छा लगता है obeisance पे करना, कोई बात नहीं, करो फिर भी. वांछा कल्पतरु, जिसको देखे devotee को pay obeisance. When you come to temple, how many times I'll pay obeisance to the Lord? Do it because it's told in Vaishnava etiquette. I don't want to call this Prabhu as Prabhu. No, still call because it's a Vaishnava etiquette. You see? Therefore, it's very important to note when we follow Vaishnava etiquette, I feel it or I don't feel it. At least I'll be saved from committing further offenses. And when we are under proper guidance, at least our mentors will tell us you're going wrong in this place. Even I went wrong like this. My mentor told me like this, so I'm just passing on the message to you. So please take care. And also third thing which I would like to mention is whatever sadhana we are doing, we have to do with absorption. Very important. At least, for all of us sitting here, many Grihastha devotees sitting here, one thing we understand very well is we have limited time for sadhana. Yes? So 2 hours of chanting, 1 hour of reading, 1 hour of hearing, and 1 hour of deity worship or other services. Say max to max 5 hours in a day we can give for Krishna. Now tell me, only these 5 hours are there, or isme bhi agar we are not able to be absorbed, then tell me where is the question of progress in Krishna consciousness? It will be very difficult, very, very difficult. Therefore, whatever we are doing, at least nowadays I'm telling myself when I sit in the class or when I'm chanting, I tell myself this one particular thing that this is the only time you have, this is the only slot. Don't waste it now. Be absorbed. Just hear whatever is told. Chant nicely and hear the holy names. Do the deity worship with focus. Now, it's not that since we are brahmacharis, we are very focused. Now, we also get distracted. So, while doing deity worship, some thoughts here and there are coming. But we have to remind ourselves, no. Ek baar milta hai deity worship karne ke liye. Let me do it with full focus. Now, why should I get deviated here and there, distracted here and there? Therefore, our acharyas also mentioned very clearly, when we are doing bhakti, we have to do it with absorption. And also another thing is also very, very important. Rupa Goswami says in Nectar of Instruction, Shloka 7, Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapa Vidya Pitokta Rasanasya Narochikano Kintvadharad Anudinam Khalu Saiva Jushta Swadvikramad Bhavati Tadgadamola Hantri. Very beautiful shloka. This is a shloka of sugar candy and jaundice. So as of now we are deceased and we don't feel the taste and Krishna consciousness. And Rupa Goswami says, Arey bhai, you have jaundice, therefore you're not able to taste sugar candy. And say we ask him, what are we supposed to do? Oh Rupa Goswami, what am I supposed to do? Eat sugar candy. It's bitter, but no problem. Continue eating. Now say we ask him, how to eat? Basically, he's saying, continue practicing bhakti even when you don't have taste. How to practice? He says, Kintu Adarad. Practice with awe and reverence. Whatever angas of bhakti we are doing, we should do it with awe and reverence. I don't deserve this, I'm not qualified for it, but the Lord is so merciful, He has come in this form. Let me receive Him with awe and reverence. So the devotees who are able to do this, but sadhana with absorption and awe and reverence, they'll be able to save themselves. And especially, in all the angas of bhakti, we might not be very much keen. We might feel boring some angas of bhakti, some angas we really like. At least the ones which we like, that we should do it very nicely. It's a very nice analysis by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He was saying in Madhurya Kadambini, I was reading this section called Nishtha. So who is in Nishtha? He says that if these 5 things are missing, not the 5 things that we discussed, he names another 5. He says if these 5 things are not there in his life, it means he's in Nishtha stage. And first thing that he mentions is Laya. Laya means sleep. And he says that if the person is not sleeping, not dozing off while practicing bhakti, so it means he has met this first condition. And then he mentions the other 4 like that. And there he mentions that Laya is also at different levels. Like for example, when we are doing kirtan, nice mridanga is played and harmonium. I think the first Sunday of every month, we have kirtan festival here. So wonderful kirtans are happening. So now when the wonderful kirtans are happening, now there is no question of dozing off in the kirtan. Joru se mridang baj raha hai, kartal baj raha hai. If someone dozes off, you should immediately take the garland from the Lord and garland him. He has got some siddhi to do that. So actually you cannot doze off in kirtan. Abhi thoda higher level is Shravanam. So Kirtanam, Shravanam is a bit higher level, where we are sitting and hearing. And the only activity that we're doing, Kirtan, at least instruments were there, you sing and you chant and you hear. But in Shravanam, you're just sitting and hearing and nothing else. So there, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that probability to doze off while hearing is more. आप लोग किए क्या experience? आज तो सब जगह थे लेकिन I didn't see anyone sleep. And then he says, a bit higher than that is Smaranam. And Smaranam, he equates Smaranam to Japa. So while doing Japa, I'm sure all of us might have this experience that one of our devotee got married, I-wife devotee got married. Girl is also nice devotee. Both of them are initiated. Before marriage only initiated. So now this boy was always very active and all that. So when they got married and they came to meet me, so as a mentor of the boy, I was glorifying the boy. Saying, Mataji, you're very fortunate to have him. He has been so sincere and so wonderful devotee. His services were so wonderful. And that Mataji said, Prabhuji, I agree with whatever you said. But Prabhuji, one problem is there in him. And what? In his Mahamantra, there is no Krishna Krishna only. Ram, Ram, Ram. वो एक्टिंग करके बताई मुझे. He was acting and showing. प्रभु ये कृष्णा कृष्णा बोलते ही नहीं, राम राम है इसके इसमें. And see, it's a thing, right? When we're chanting, at times, whatever reason it might be, this thing happens where we doze off. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, yes, this is how it is. Now Kirtan, least probability of sleeping. Shravanam, again, it's not that great probability to sleep. But when it comes to Japa, since the entire thing is so calm and we're doing the same activity for 2 hours, there's a probability of dozing off. Therefore, at least when Kirtan is happening, we should tell ourselves, Abhi to main sone wala hu nahi, let me be focused. Let me be focused. I've told all our brahmacharis also. When the Kirtan happens, at least at that time, let's be very focused. But somehow it happens that after the Kirtan gets over, then devotees come for class. Nahi, Jai Radha Madhav ke baad jayenge. And that is the only time when we are actually awake, where we are actually active. Therefore, when Kirtan happens, we should tell ourselves, this is the time, let me close my eyes and let me just dip myself in Kirtan. Shravanam, when the Shravanam is happening, making notes, looking at the notes, looking at the speaker, contemplating, we should keep ourselves awake. Japa, pray to Krishna. Only Krishna can help because we are alone at that time. Therefore, all these different things we should analyze. At least Kirtan, Shravan Kirtan, we should be very active, and that will help us to do proper Japa also. Anyways, the point that I'm trying to make here is we have to be absorbed while doing sadhana. We should find out which angas we feel absorbed and we should do it more and pray to Krishna very nicely. And one prayer, we should be very specific in praying to Krishna. And this prayer can be there for all of us since we are sadhakas. That, oh Lord, I am not able to absorb myself in doing sadhana. You please remind me that I should get absorbed in sadhana. See, devotees are sincere. Bas ek reminder chahiye. Yes, abhi you should be absorbed. But what to do? Mind distracts us here and there. So when we pray to Krishna that, oh Krishna, please help me to be absorbed in sadhana. Please remind me that I should be absorbed while doing this particular activity. Krishna will do the needful. And when we are absorbed in sadhana, automatically we'll advance in devotional service. And also these effects which are spoken, with time it will minimize. And we will come out of the vicious cycle of offenses and its effects. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.